I bet with Interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.
Well, we're on to race number 8. It's over 1,200 meters. It's a merit-rated 70 handicap. Let's get into our rerun, and it is for Northern Warrior from the Michael Roberts stable.
And then comes All the Time. Coming to the 200-meter marker, Quest for the Best. Northern Warriors a runner, and All the Time is on the outside. Then Pominion and Tribute to You. It's still Quest for the Best. Northern Warrior, Pominion, and All the Time over the last 100 meters, though. And Quest for the Best still goes, though. Quest for the Best has won, and Northern Warrior second, All the Time third, and Pominion ran fourth.
Yes, he's a new intake that my client bought off the offline online sale. Nice little horse. Still learning about him. He'll probably need the run for us because his better form is probably over a bit further. Yes, he's come on from the run, and I expect a big run from him. Yes, he could. Depends how the kid handle him. Oh, obviously. I believe his better form is over 1,000 meters. But, if the kid can handle him, I think he's a big runner.
Well, before we touch on race number 9, to you, the valued racing fan, I've done the slog, and I'm trying to combine Graham's numbers with mine since we've been previewing a pick 6. Well, I've gone banker race number 3, Jane's Vision, so that was 9. And then we've gone 3, 5, and 8. So we both agreed on that, and we've included number 4 there, Graham, which is your selection. So I went 3, 5, and 8, and we included Valley Gal. That's 4. Then I went banker. I'm sticking with that. I know that you went with the field. I went banker number 5, a little bit naughty. And then you suggested that, it's either Princess Azaria or the field. So we're going to go banker 4 there. So it's banker 9 by 3, 4, 5, 8 by banker 5 by banker 4. And then what I've done in the next leg, I've actually elected to go with your 2 horses, 1 and 7. Just reducing the perm by a lot. Now we've got money to spend because we've gone banker by 4 horses, by banker 4, by 1 and 7. Surely we can include the field now.
Well, the only surefire way of getting through this leg is by including the field. I think it is the toughest race in the card. It's one of these very competitive MR70 handicaps over 1,200 meters. It's interesting, just going back to the interview package, Michael Roberts has got the 3 runners. Lal Timo's just joined the yard. He thinks that'll need the run. Then obviously he's got one other in the race, but I'm curious about number 12, Sea Vista, because he's given Apprentice Plykeys the chance here to take 4 kilograms off the back, and Sea Vista comes in thus with only 58 kilograms. And so he mentioned there, we're not quite sure how Apprentice Plykeys is going to go, but I think it's very commendable that Michael Roberts has given him a horse that's got a bit of form.
That is young Plykeys. There are a few young guys that will be coming out and having their first rides or just starting up their engines, and they're worth following because there is a lack of claim 4s these days, but hopefully we see more of them appear on our racetracks. Northern Warrior, I think the right rerun was chosen there, the obvious horse in the race. Graham, I'll tell you, if the guys are looking to stick with my rule, which is half the field, then you're going to have to include 7 runners. And number 2 gets my vote. 4, Senior Garcia, obvious chances to that horse. You mentioned number 6, Trade War. What about a horse like Eddie the Mover? Although carrying 62 kgs, this type of horse could be in the shake-up. Saipan, a front runner. I know that this is not his favorite track. And I've included 11 all round the world, 12 Sea Vista, and 14 Give Me a Rainbow. It's very difficult, as you mentioned, Graham. I mean, I'm just looking at numbers here. I'll tell you what, if we go banker 9 by 3, 4, 5, and 8, by banker 5, by banker 4, and then we include my 5 runners there in that penultimate leg instead of numbers 1 and 7. We go 1, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's 3 bankers, and the perm is only costing 20 Rand, Graham, going into the last leg. So if you multiply this out by 15, I mean, that is just going to cost you 300.
Yeah, then I wouldn't try and narrow down the last leg. A couple of runners I just want to re-mention. Obviously, Northern Warrior, we picked out the rerun there. I think he's probably one of the chief protagonists in the race, one of the 3 horses in the race from Michael Roberts. Interesting to see how Plakis goes in the stable companion Sea Vista. But I do want to talk about Trade War, because I do think this horse is way overpriced. You can get 25 to 1 in the anti-pose market. And
you always like this horse. You've singled this horse out a few times in the past.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of talent. And the fact is effectively racing off a merit rating of 64 with Lihaba, who's at least ridden some winners and knows what it is to get a horse into the winner's enclosure. So his rating has dropped to effectively way below. He won on the 29th of March, beating Gimme a Rainbow, who's in this race. He won that off a rating of 70. He now runs effectively off a rating of 64. So I'm going to have a little each-way nibble, number 6 Trade War, without much confidence at big odds. I think he's worth a mention, but I already said to you, I think this is the hardest race in the card. And I think if you've narrowed down that pick 6 perm as you have, then D's, I think we include the field.
I'm looking at one horse here. I may have just found something just by, once you were talking about Trade War. This horse all around the world, strange but true, that all of his runs here in KZN have been on the poly track. I wonder why they haven't put him on the turf. I know that his turf form up in Gauteng wasn't the worst. 14 starts forwards at 7 places grand. That's a 50% place strike rate. He's now come down 54 kgs, and you often see it. I don't know if it's by design, but to get a horse's rating down, possibly put him over a distance that he's unsuited to, or maybe even on a surface that he's unsuited to, and then bang, you get him off the right mark at the right course over the right distance. Maybe this horse now racing off a 59 back on the turf, carrying 54.5 kgs. I've made up my mind, Graham. That's going to be my roving banker in the quartet.
So D's is going to go all around the world. A late find for the 8th race, but we both agree it is a tough race. It's a field leg as far as the last leg of the pick 6 is concerned. The last leg of Jackpot 2 is concerned. D's has mapped out the pick 6 for us. We're bankering Jane's Vision. We're bankering a little bit Naughty. We're bankering Princess Azariah, and going in accordance with the numbers that he gave us in the other 3 legs. That is one perm that we're going to play, the very aggressive perm, and we'll have the field in the last leg. All around the world as the each-way play there for D's, and Trade War, the each-way play in the last for me.
My name's Danny Diliberto, founder of Ladles of Love. It was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula, and we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.